UCLA reaches a more than $6 million settlement with Jewish students and a professor over the school's handling of anti-Israel protests last year. The lawsuit accused the school of failing to act and letting demonstrators ban Jewish students from campus areas. A statement from the university reading, "Today's settlement reflects a critically important goal that we share with the plaintiffs to foster a safe, secure, and inclusive environment for all members of our community and ensure that there is no room for anti-Semitism anywhere on campus." Let's bring in Jordan Varburg, counsel at the Becket Fund for Religious Liberty, the law firm that represented those UCLA students. Tell us about this victory. Is that what you consider it, a victory here?
Yeah, it's a huge and sweeping victory. This case really arose, John, out of what I would call heartbreaking circumstances. Back in April of last year, radical activists infiltrated UCLA's campus. They set up a so-called encampment, and they pretty quickly started assaulting Jews and discriminating against Jews. They actually prevented Jews from accessing their own classes, the most popular parts of UCLA's campus, unless if they were willing to disavow their faith commitments. And, they also discriminated against those who simply wore a Star of David or a kippah. UCLA not only did nothing to stop this discrimination, they actually did things that helped the discrimination become possible. They supplied the barriers, for example, that were used to create this Jew exclusion zone. So we're very glad that this settlement constitutes, a real movement forward in terms of combating anti-Semitism on UCLA's campus. Among other things, it includes a permanent court order preventing UCLA from continuing to engage in this sort of rampant discrimination against their own students and their own faculty. And we're very glad that we got this outcome.
It's alarming, I guess, and there are some other words that I could use to describe the fact that, in this country that espouses freedom of speech, but also freedom of religion, that anything like that could have taken place. Now, what do you think about the statement that UCLA put out?
At the end of the day, UCLA needs to change its behavior, and because of this court order, they're going to have to. They need to stop facilitating discrimination against their own Jewish students and Jewish faculty. And that's why it's so important to have this federal court injunction in place. I wish UCLA didn't need a federal court order in order to obey federal civil rights laws, but unfortunately, this case revealed that it does need a court order to do that. I agree with you, John. It's pretty shocking that we even needed to bring a case that would reaffirm the really fundamental constitutional principle that you can't discriminate in providing access to a public space based on someone's religion. It's just shocking this case had to be brought. It's also shocking they fought it for a full year before finally caving this week.
There are a number of colleges that are taking heat from the administration, and a few of them have already decided to settle. We have a list here. Columbia and Brown both agreed to pay because of their practices, especially toward Jewish students. A number of the others, including Penn, Harvard, Cornell, Northwestern, UCLA, Princeton, Duke, all of them are seeing their federal funding frozen. Do you think that that is enough to bring those colleges to do the right thing, if that's what they need to do?
Yeah, I think schools across the country need accountability. And I think what they're finding out is that when you discriminate against Jews on your campus, that comes with a steep price. I think the case we just won against UCLA is going to set a really firm precedent going forward. That if you allow that type of discrimination, you can be liable under not only the US Constitution, but also Title VI, the KKK Act, which was one of the claims in our case. So it's really an important precedent that I think is going to be cited going forward.
Yeah, so this is going to reverberate for a long time to come, you believe?
Absolutely. Yeah, these types of cases really advance the law in positive ways for religion generally and for Jews on UCLA's campus. We think it's important to hold universities accountable when they misbehave in the way that UCLA did. I wish UCLA was the only school that had misbehaved in this way, and I know the Trump administration has had a lot of things to say about that.
But if it's the student bodies, if it's individuals, not the school per se, how do you change that mindset?
Well, schools, of course, have a duty to protect their students against harassment, against discrimination. In UCLA's case, they not only failed to protect their students, they actually took actions that facilitated the discrimination. Like I was saying, they provided the barriers that created a Jew exclusion zone. They even turned off the sprinklers in the main campus area so that those who were discriminating against Jews wouldn't get wet while they discriminated. It's really amazing stuff. And again, it's very frustrating that litigation is even necessary to reaffirm these basic constitutional principles.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a very good thing that you won that case. Becket Fund counsel Jordan Varberg. Jordan, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.